So on page 144 of the No Bones Jones cookbook, we are going to make a lentil and vegan stew. This is one of the first things I ever learned to make, and I thought it was absolutely delicious, and I used it for lasagnas, for bases, for soups, for many uses. So this has always been a firm favourite around the festivals and at home. So we are going to cook this. So here we go. I want some olive oil, about 2 tablespoonfuls in my pan, and then I add my onions, and I've got a half a leek. You could have 1 onion, but I've got half an onion and half a leek. So they're going in to start with. Maybe that pan's just a tad hot, so I'll turn that down a little bit. There we go. And then I want my carrots and celery. I'm going to put my garlic, 3 cloves of garlic, into the centre. And that is going to quietly chug along for about 5 minutes. So I'll cover that, turn the heat down, and let it gently chug for about 5 minutes. So we are now at the stage when all our veg is in, our onions, carrots, celery, garlic is in, and is softening beautifully. The fragrance is delicious, the carrots are softening nicely, and we are at the stage where I'm going to take my 300 grams of red lentils, and I'm going to quietly stir those in. These will add flavour and they will thicken it beautifully. So once I've covered everything, I'm now going to add my oregano. Now, the story behind my oregano: I was in Paxos on holiday, and this chap walked into the restaurant with this huge bag of oregano, which I gave him €10 for, and it is delicious. It is just so fantastic to buy things abroad and bring them back. So, we're at that stage now. This is beginning to take shape. 1 tin of tomatoes, 400 mils tin of tomato. Stir that round gently. And the last thing to put into my pan is, I use the tomato tin. Normally I'd use hot water, but I'm going to let this chug along quietly. So that is my stew complete, and that will just chug along nicely and cook. I'm going to season it now, so I've got some seasoning in it. This is a salt and pepper mix. My veggie stew has been cooking, my vegan veggie stew has been cooking for about 20 minutes, and it is looking terrific. Everything is cooked, everything is softened, and I tasted it a few minutes ago. It's quite hot, but the lentils have softened beautifully. They haven't broken down, which I like. That's a really good base for most anything. Lasagnas or veggie burgers or whatever you want. It is such a versatile dish, this. I'm going to add some basil to it. You could add more veg, you could put potatoes in it, new potatoes, and it would just cook beautifully. But anyway, make sure you start cooking this. So that is our vegan dish finished. Our lentil and vegan stew, page 144 of the No Bones Jones cookbook. And so for a new dimension, or another dimension on top of this stew, I had some leftover mashed potato, so I've regenerated it again, and I love cooking. I always have in the fridge beetroot, fresh beetroot, roasted off in balsamic vinegar with a bit of sugar. And so what I do is I have a little bit of cheese on this. You don't have to, and I put these under the grill or in a hot oven, and then that gives it a whole new dimension. And I'll gently lift that up to the camera so you can see how beautiful it is. The beetroot tastes fantastic with the balsamic vinegar. The mashed potato is lovely and creamy, and I'm just going to try this just to make sure that it is up to standard. Oh golly, it's really good. Anyway, I'll see you again soon. Happy cooking.